This conference will now be recorded.
All right. So, uh, yeah, last time what did we see? Data upload. We had an Excel sheet. We uploaded data to ServiceNow custom table. All right. Our custom table is Swapnil inventories. For Vedika, I think we created this one like Tausif inventory. It was this. So don't worry about the table name. The columns are the same. We will upload data over here. This is the table, a quick summary. We have, see, this is how it looks. We know how to create a new table. We know how to create new fields, right? We know how to create a drop down field. This is the drop down field, what we called as a choice field in ServiceNow. This is a reference field, inventory coordinator, that refers to the user table. We know how to create it, right? And then we have a date field. Rest of them are text fields. This is big because see the size of this is big. Rest of them are 40. So configure dictionary, how to change the size. Go to the properties, that is configure dictionary. Switch over to the application, otherwise it won't let us. Where is it? Yes. Right scope. From here we can change the length of the field, the size, what we say. We can make it mandatory read only from here. All right. So this is what we know already. We can create records. We know how to create an input job, how to manually import data to the table. Then what is remaining? Scheduling a job to automatically import the data to the table is what we are going to see now. Okay. So now there is something called data source. Let's open data source. System import sets data source. These are all the existing data sources. I told you everything in ServiceNow is a table. These records are contained in a table. If you want to find out the table name, I told you open any record, click on the hamburger item, show XML. The first thing it will show in the tags is the table name. Correct. So let us create a new data source. Data source is something where we provide the information about the files or storage area where our data is stored. It can be a file, it can be JDBC, which is a database connection. It can be LDAP, which is a connection to Active Directory in the organization. Right? It can be like rest of the things which we don't use usually, OIDC, REST, custom. There are many things. For now, we can try this format. We know ours is an Excel sheet. You know, when we did it manually, it used to populate one over here. When we create a data source, this is something we have to type in like this. My sheet number 1 contains the data. Header row is 1. How to retrieve the file? It's an attachment. If it is stored somewhere on a server, file transfer protocol, then it will ask us to give the IP address of the file server, username and password to access the file server. It is like that. These are all the storage areas. Ours is an attachment which we are going to specify over here. Okay. Now, what would be the name of the data source? Any good name. So let it be like Swapnil data source. SRC, Swapnil data source, imports a table that is the label of the staging table that will be created once we create this data source, once we submit this. So does it look similar to what we did manually? Yes, no special difference, correct? So data source is something which is reusable. There we used to create a staging table every time, manually attach the file every time, right? So now anything 9, because so far we created many tables, let it be 9. This will be picked up now. I am telling the system mine is an Excel file that you have to pick up. Sheet number 1 is a sheet where the data is contained. First row would be my header row. I will attach the file to the data source. How? First of all, let us see where is our file. It was somewhere in the geo folder last time. Let us see. So we'll open. It should have 4 to 5 records. It will take a time to open. In the meantime, what we will do, open a duplicate tab. Go to Swapnil inventory table. This is our table. Remove the data because we are going to automatically populate the data based on some job. Delete. Cool. What does it contain? 2 entries. Okay, let it be. So it is okay. All right. These two are now existing users, I believe. Last time we saw it. Yeah. So now I have not created, I am creating the data source. I have not yet submitted this. It will ask, where is the attachment? I will have to specify the attachment over here. Like my file is this. It will take few seconds to attach. So once we create the data source, there is no need to specify the file again and again. Usually in real-time scenarios, there is a file server called FTP where we replace the files. Okay, they have the same name. So once the file is processed, if we have some new file, we replace the file over there. See, we have attached the file. It is showing over here. I have given all the information. Staging table name. So the table will be created with this name. This is the actual name. This is the name of my data source. Now let us save it. I can click on submit, but it will take me back to the list view, which I don't want. That's the reason I will right click and click on save so that I remain on the same form. As soon as you click on this, you will see some additional details coming like this. This was not there earlier. After saving, this chunk became visible. What does it say? Load all records or load test 20 records just for testing. Okay. Now this seems similar to what we did in the manual process. We created a transform map. Everything is same. Now, what is the name of the transform map? Okay. This is the source table we know. This is the target table. Swapnil inventories. It is this, a target table. Then going ahead, we will do mapping assist. Okay. How many columns do we have? 3. Product name, product description. Product name, product description. Sorry. Map it to product name, product description, prod DESC or DESC, where is it? Description. Inventory coordinator, inventory coordinator. Left hand side, staging table, right hand side, target table. This is the staging table name. This is our data source. This is right hand side is our target table where we need to populate the data. Save it. All right. These are our mappings. If we want to keep something unique, let us assume that product name is unique. I'll make collage as true so that next time the job runs, it will make sure. Okay. Or let it be. I will show you data duplication. Let it be like this. Okay. Now we have done everything. Then what is remaining? I can transform it, but once we transform this, it will actually push the data or ingest the data to the target table, which we don't want. We want to create a job that will automatically run periodically and push the data to the target table. That's the reason I will stop here and I will not click on transform. Okay, so I will save this. This is my data source. My data source contains a transformation and transform mappings. I have not run the transformation because I will create a new job that will run this data source. Okay, now going ahead. Data source created. I want to create a scheduled job. System import sets, admin, schedule imports. Click. Let us create. This is a job. Give a good name to the job so that we can identify. So far we have been following like this. Let us keep it so that it is easy to search it back. Schedule job 1. Now see here. The job is asking for a data source and we already created it. Let us try to type. Let us see if it suggests anything. Software data source. This is the one, correct? Or what do we get? Yes, that is the one. This is the transform map and data source name would be, was it 9? No, it is correct. Swapnil data source. Now, when do you want the job to run? I want to run it, see, weekly, monthly, periodically, right? Periodically. Starting, let it be 26. What all options do we have? Daily, weekly. I want to run it every 1 minute. Hours, minutes, seconds. Okay. Now, this is for starting. When do you want the job to start? Hours, minute, time on this date. Start the job and then repeat every 1 minute. Import every 1 minute. Import periodically. Okay. So now I have told the system run the job, refer to this data source. So now the job knows where is the data. It gets everything from the data source, the file and all, mapping, everything. So let us save this. Before saving, let us confirm if we have any data in our target form. These are all duplicate sessions. So don't get confused. See, these are all the same instances. Just that I don't want the form to go away. So I'm opening it in multiple tabs. So there is no data. Just 5 minutes back, I deleted it. So product name, product description, and inventory coordinator is what going to be populated. So product name, inventory coordinator, description, saved. These are the three attributes that would be auto-populated. I have not yet saved this job. Let me save it. Saved. It is 10:21. See what is happening. Started already. It will keep on repeating, pushing duplicate data. It ran twice. First run, there were only 2 records. Second run, it pushed it again. How does it know what to do? There is no collage set. I will refresh it. It will have 2 more entries. Every minute it will run. It will keep on running every minute. There will be hundreds of entries in some time because every 1 minute it will bring in these 2 entries in the table. It ran twice. See, again it ran. It brought in 2 entries. This is how it is automatically running, pushing data to the table. Then you will say Lysol. If I do like this, right click show matching, there are duplicate entries. So that is the reason why we do coalesce setting, correct? And I didn't do it because I wanted to show you how we get duplicate data in the table if we don't take care of coalesce. Okay, let us go back to our transformation. Now you saw job is running, bringing in the data, and it will go on. There is no limit. Every minute it will bring 2 rows automatically from the sheet. Okay. If it was a number of records, 100 records, then it would have been 100 in a minute. After that, again 100, that is 200. After that, 300, and so on. Okay, because we have not given any kind of condition or anything. Okay, that the record needs to be updated. If it already exists, lux already exists, then don't create a new record. In fact, update the existing record. We have not given that condition, correct? So see, 1, 2, 3, 4, ran 4 times so far. Let's go back to the transformation. How to search for the transformation? Transform map. This is our map. So where are the mappings? First of all, see, this is the mapping. Now let us go back to our job. Where is that job? Import set. Schedule job. Schedule definition. Scheduled import it was. Yeah, scheduled imports. I want to disable this job. It is active. I can open this record and set it to inactive, or if I don't want to waste time, I'll click over here. I'll make it false. This is called on cell edit. We don't have to open the record. If you open it now, that will be reflected. It will be false. See, if I check it and save, it will be active. Now it is disabled, so it will not push data. Okay, so now I am here and I will make this as true. That means if a product name comes in which already exists in the target table, in that case, just update the attributes of that record. Don't create a new record. This is what we are telling the system. Okay, now let's see how does it look. This is true, coalesce. Very important, very important question. Interview, they will ask you every time. Okay, now that I have done the changes, I'll go to Swapnil form. Clean the data. See how many records it imported. Duplicates. Delete. This is how we delete the data. It will ask for the confirmation. Click on delete. Done. No data in the table. Our scheduled job will bring in the data, but it will not duplicate the data this time. This is what we expect. All right. Make it active and update. Now let's see what happens. No record till now. two records, two records. Okay. Now let us see if it multiplies or not. It should not multiply because it is checking the records against the product name. If the incoming product name is same, it will update these records with rest of the attributes, but it will not create a new record. This is how it is. See, it is not duplicating the records. Not duplicating. Our problem is solved. Any question around this? We created a data source. Where is our data source? Let me go back.
Hi, Pankaj. Pankaj,
Yes.
is any scheduled job stuck in between or it's not running on the scheduled time? So
Mm-hmm.
what are the troubleshooting step or where we can check the error logs?
You can go to simply the logs over here. That day I showed you, right? Any kind of logs, we can come here, system logs, all. So whatever error is there, system error, any error, it will track it over here. If you remember, see, everything is logged over here. This is our staging table, correct? Load, import, ignored. See, everything, whether it is information or error or warning, it will write over here. So you can search it, like if you want to find out something about the staging table, you can filter it out using wildcard characters. Errors related to your staging table, correct? So far no
Okay,
errors.
Pankaj, thanks.
Yeah, so this is how it is. We create a data source in real time scenario. See, this is not, we are not in a company currently, right? We don't have an infrastructure. Ideally how it is like a shared drive data source. Over here the people will give a shared location, some FTP drive, FTP, file transfer protocol. So it is a different system, a different machine. So that machine's IP address 121 dot anything, right? IP address of that server. Then the Windows administrator will give us the path where the file is stored. That file path we will specify over here. Windows admin will give us the username, password to access the file. That's it. We will not attach it over here. This is something we did it for testing because that's the only thing we can do. We don't have any JDBC, right? This is not an organization. That's the reason. Real time, it will be like this. You will specify the file path. It will pick up the file from there and then it will start the processing. We create data source, then we create a shed. As part of the data source, we create the transformation, mapping, everything. Then we don't run the transformation. Otherwise, it will directly manually import the data. So we just give the mappings, we save the data source. Then we create a schedule job. We give the reference of our data source in the job. We give the time interval and all, and we save it. Okay, and then as per the timings, the job will run. It will refer to this data source. It will pick up the file and then it will do the processing. This is how it is. All right. So this was all about scheduled imports. So now this topic closed, we will come to what is an incident. This is a part of ITSM. This, what we saw, data upload, we saw table creation, we saw field creation. That is not a part of ITSM. ITSM is an application that is created by ServiceNow, which adheres to ITIL principles. There are certain rules, ITIL rules, right? So it follows those rules. And incident is any disruption or reduction in the services that we provide to the customer. There are two companies. Company A has purchased a network device from company B. That means B is the service provider, A is the customer or consumer. A is the consumer, B is the seller, service provider. A has purchased a network device. It is using it, the company. In few days, they encountered some problem with the network device, and then they started complaining to company B, what kind of product you have sold, replace it or repair it, restore it, whatever, but resolve my issue. Some spoke from company A, that is the customer, will talk to some spoke of company B, who is the service provider. Service provider will have a service desk, a group of, it would be a team, support staff team. It will go to one of the person. The person will talk to the user of company A, what problem you are facing. That person will say, I am facing so and so problem. Then the person at the service provider end, the service desk agent will create an incident for that user in the system. How we will create incident? Create new. Create new. System will automatically generate an incident number. Ignore this, we will see this every time. Ignore this, this is some customizations I have done. Ignore this. Okay. See, every time you click on create incident, a unique number will be generated in a sequence. It is 87. If I create new, it will be 88. See, that's how it keeps on growing. Okay. So now I am the service desk person, service desk agent who logs the incident when complaints come in. I got a call from company A, who is the user, that we are facing problem with some network device. I will ask that person what is her name. The person will say something, my name is Bushra Akhtar. Or I can search it from here as well. This is a reference field. We know how the reference field works. This is the name of the person who reported the incident. I will ask that person on the call, what is the category? You will say it's a network device. So I will put it as hardware. Subcategory, these are the subcategories. Okay. I will select one of the category, anything, keyboard, memory, monitor, mouse. If my category is not listed over here, see, these are the out of the box categories. When I say out of the box, these are provided by ServiceNow. I can add a new choice to it. I showed you how to add. Even here, I can add a new choice. How to add? Right click, configure dictionary. You can say I have done customization in ServiceNow. Okay, let us make it to global because incident management lies under global scope. That's the reason. Okay, now I want to add a new choice. These are the choices present. Okay, I want to create my new choice. like this. Switch. Switch is a hardware device. Control C. Saved. Now let us see if it has reflected. Create new incident. Under which category did we add? Memory, disk, keyboard, monitor, mouse. No. I think we have to give parent category as well. All right, we will do it. We will see a working example of this. Okay, at that time I will show you how do we add, because this is dependent on this. When we add this, we also have to specify the parent category under which it will be listed. That's the reason. And we didn't specify the parent category. That's the reason it is probably not showing it. See, yeah, fine. That is a requirement. Now, out of the box, network. Suppose hardware, if it was a kind of disk, imagine we have given a disk to the customer and the issue came in. I log the name Bushra Akhtar. She reported a category of incident related to hardware and disk because we sold a disk to the customer. Assume. Okay. Now, I will ask the person, what is the short description? Tell me briefly what issue you are facing. Okay, fine. Then I'll ask for the whole story. This is the detail. Anything it can be, any rough. This is just a dummy kind of description. In short, this will be a one-liner about what is the issue. This will be a multi-line text explaining when does the user face the issue, if it is related to any kind of application, right? Like software. We will write it intermittently slows down or this and that. Okay, operating system. This is not working, that is not working. Anything. Now, what is the impact? How fast? What is the impact if this is not resolved immediately? What would be the impact on the business at the customer side? Is what we select over here. If it is medium, then the priority will be calculated accordingly. There is some problem in this instance. Otherwise, over here, see, if I select high, it should set critical, which it is not setting. It is, see, these sample instances, there will be some problem, so don't panic. If I set these two as high, it should be auto calculated as critical, ideally. But there is some problem with the instance, due to which it is not happening. So the service desk agent will select these two and the priority field will be calculated automatically based on these two fields. It will be displayed here. Fine. So this is a custom field. Forget it. To which group I am going to assign the ticket? Let it be G1 group once we created it, right? So this way I can submit the incident. Okay. Even I can submit the assignee. But as a first point of contact, I don't know what is the assignment group. I'll keep it as blank. If I know, I'll select. If I know whom to assign, I can even give the name. But I don't know anything. Let it be like this. I will submit the incident. This is my incident. Okay. Now it went to group G1. Group G1 received email. All the people in group G1 received email. A new incident has been assigned to your group. The group lead will decide what is the load, who is having what number of incidents already. Based on the workload, the lead will assign it to some person. And then here also I can either save or click on update. If I click on update, it will throw me back to the list view. That's the reason why I'm clicking on save. Now, the person Roja is the engineer working on this ticket. She may contact with the customer directly over the call. Okay. And then she will resolve the incident. Whatever she does, she will keep on adding over here. If she want to have a communication with the customer visible, she will put the comments over here. I need more information. Post. If she doesn't want the customer to see this, she wants the person wants that the work note should be visible to only the internal team. They should not be sent out to the customer. Then I'll click on this and then write passing this incident to team B as it doesn't belong to us. Post. Gone. And I'll pass the incident to some other group. Let's see if we have some dummy data. We have, yeah, passing it to change management team, because after initially working on this incident, I realized that there is some other team in the organization, in the company, that will handle this ticket. So it is not necessary. See, ideally it comes to L1, who is the single point of contact with the customer. L1, based on his or her knowledge, will assign it to certain group initially, but then that certain group, which was G1, started working on the incident. One of the people from group 1 started working on it. After initial investigation, the person realized that no, this is not something we can handle, but we know there is some group 2 or change management group or any other group that can handle this incident. So let us assign it to that group. That's the reason that person will put a note over here and change the assignment group and save the incident. And then it will be passed to the other team. This is how it works. The other team person will work on the incident, and then after giving the closure, the person will close the incident. The person will mark it as resolved. But change management team wants some information from the customer. Customer visible. I want anything, serial number of the disk. And the person is not replying now. The person takes few days. So for few days we cannot keep the ticket open. Service desk agent will keep it on hold and give the reason, awaiting caller, and update it. So that, why do we do this? Tomorrow if my manager calls me and says why this incident is open, it's been so many days, I will not take the blame. I will tell my manager, boss, see, it is on hold and that user is not giving us required information. So how can we proceed with the resolution? Right? That's the reason why we keep it on hold. Right? So then the customer replies to the query, and finally the support agent will work on the ticket, and then the person will resolve it like this. Now, while resolving the ticket, we have to give a resolution code and resolution note. What was the resolution? Resolution code. Solved with workaround, solved permanently. These are the things. Sometimes it is closed by the caller, solved permanently. I resolved the issue. How did I resolve? Replace to the hard disk. Update. And now the incident is resolved. Then after a few days, the person will call back the end user who reported the incident. The person can give the confirmation about closure, that thank you very much for resolving my incident. You may go ahead and close it. So post user confirmation or customer confirmation, the agent will mark the ticket as closed and then update. Gone. This is how an incident ticket is created. This is how we assign the incident ticket to group or a person, right? This is how we set the priority. This is how we keep it on hold, right? So if we already know, see, there is something called a configuration item. Configuration item, what is it? Uh, there is an ITL database called CMDB, Configuration Management Database. So that contains all the assets present in the organization. Configuration item and asset are similar but not same. What is a configuration item? Imagine hardware and software. I'm using Windows 2003, Windows 2010 licensed operating systems in my organization. Computer 1 has Windows Server 2003, Computer 2 has Windows Server 2010, Computer 3 has 2012. These are all servers. They are configuration items. I'm using a computer system. There are 100 computer systems. Each are, right, differentiated by some code, serial number, anything. So each is a configuration item. So we store the information of all these configuration items in a database called CMDB, that is ITL database. So if I have stored the network devices, the hardware devices, everything in the CMDB, then when the customer calls in and tells that he is facing problem with the system, I'll if I know what is the configuration item he's talking about, I'll select the configuration item as well while creating the incident. See, it is not there because CMDB is not in place. Otherwise, I can select the configuration item as well. Getting? So service offering, service, these are all CMDB related. So it's okay if you ignore the fields for now, as it is not mandatory. Not this. I'm talking about this configuration item. See, let's say if we have cloud NAT, this is the configuration item. Where the data is coming from? CMDB. See, when I want to purchase ITSM, I have a choice. I can just purchase ITSM, incident management, problem management, change management. I have a choice. I may not opt for CMDB. Usually it is there most of the time, 95% of the time. CMDB will also be taken. Otherwise, it won't be, the organization won't be able to manage the CIs. But some organizations, if they don't have budget, they will not take CMDB. And that's the reason these fields are not mandatory in incident. Okay, if you know what configuration item the user is facing the problem with, you can put it over here, right? You cannot put your name over here. It should something pre-exist in CMDB. Otherwise, it will say invalid reference. Okay, so this is how we create incident. This is how the life cycle is. This is something I have added extra, so ignore it. It will be in progress if the person is working on it. It will be on hold, resolved, all the possible states. If someone tells you do customization in incident management, create a new field, then you already know how to create a new field on a table. This is also a table. Right click, configure, form layout. See what are options I am showing you. Those options are visible only because I am an administrator. Otherwise, I will not see those options. Any non-admin user can go ahead and create a field, right? If you log in as a non-admin, you won't be able to see those configuration menu items. Okay. Now I want to create a new field. Where did it go? Bring it up. Save. All of the users will be able to see these fields. Newly created field. See, swapnil notes. This is how we do customization. Okay. This is now a text field, free text, in which we can add any value and save it. Simple, right? So if anyone asks you, what did you do in ITSM, especially in incident, you can say addition of a new category, going to the dictionary, adding a new category, then creating new fields, right? There is many more. So these are some customizations I have done. I'll give you real-time examples in coming sessions. For now, I want to just show you how we create incident, how we close incidents. Okay, now imagine incident is created, there is no solution to it. The person is working on it. Customer 1 complained about something for which the service desk person created an incident. Now tomorrow, some customer 2 from the same company, user 2 from the same company, complains about something and the service desk agent created a new incident. Then same thing, the third day, again one incident came in, but then the service desk agents realize, oh, all the incidents have the same similar short description, application slowness with so and so application, HR application, they are experiencing slowness. So these kind of repetitive incidents, reoccurring incidents, is called a problem. Problem can be said as an incident for which we do not have a permanent resolution. We may have a workaround, what we say a kind of temporary solution. Like example, user 1 from the customer company complained me, hey, I am facing application slowness with this application. So I will say, okay, HR application. As an agent, I'll say HR application is hosted on Tomcat 1 server. I'll go to that box, I'll restart the server, and then I'll talk to that user and he'll say it is working fine now. So after restart, it starts working fine. But then in few hours again, the customer calls up. Hey, it has again started going slow. So restarting the server is a kind of workaround I am giving him. But what about the permanent solution? Every 2 to 3 hours that caller calls me and says, what happened again? It is not working smoothly. So then I realize that on that Tomcat server, logs are generating in huge volumes. I don't know the reason. That is called a workaround. I gave the solution, but a partial solution by manually restarting the server. I know now after 3 hours, again that person is going to call me. So I proactively restart the server manually, and then that guy doesn't call. But now I know that this is not a permanent fix. I will have to investigate to this issue, and that's the reason it is a problem and it is not an incident. A problem is a reoccurring incident for which we may have a workaround but not a permanent solution. Someone has to work on the problem ticket. Someone will be the assignment group assigned to a problem. That person will work on the ticket and close the ticket, giving a permanent fix. So how do we create a problem? From here, do we have view, copy, reload, history, create problem? Do we have any link? Save to this copy incident, follow us. No, from here we don't have. Do we have it from here? Close incident, this, that, configure, export, view, history, copy URL. No, we don't have. All right, let us create it manually from here. Might be because this is closed. Ideally, there should be two ways. We should be able to create a problem ticket from incident as well, as per ITIL. Let's see. I created, I said application slowness, save it, 190. It is open, stage is new. Let us assign to some group so that it becomes in progress. Automatically it is new. Change management, update. Okay. Now let us see. Do we have, see, create a problem. Create a problem ticket. Click. See, this is how problem console looks. It directed us to problem console. So when I create it through incident, it will copy the summary automatically. Now we will categorize this software, hardware, anything. Okay. And then we will give it to some assignment group and then save, submit it. 40011 is the problem ticket. That person will work on the ticket assigned to, let us give someone. No records. Let's take some other group. This is some sample data, so we are not sure if we have proper data. Is there any user in this group? No. Do we have any group that contains users? Let us see. Let it be. We have assigned it to a group and the group lead will take care of it. Okay. Now it is in new stage. It will go through assessment, root cause analysis. Okay. So I will click on assess. It will be reviewed whether it is actually a problem or not. We will have to, yeah, we will have to give something over here. Let us create a new user from here itself. Anyone. Before we go for the assessment, we will have to assign the problem to at least to someone, which we did. It is under assessment. I clicked on assess button and it will be assessed. Okay, so the person to whom it is assigned will assess it and will check if it is really a recurring incident or not. All right, then it will be confirmed that it is a problem. If it is a problem, then the person will do root cause analysis. Why the logs are growing in huge volume? What is the problem with the server? Is it that the logs are supposed to be deleted automatically from the server, but that utility is not triggering, due to which the problem is being created? The logs are being reported in created in huge volumes. That person will investigate offline all these things. The person will log in into the server either remotely using RDP connection or going there physically and checking, logging into the system and all. And then that person will identify the root cause, like the cleaner utility is not running, something has been corrupted. He will fix it, update it, and then it will start running, and then logs cleaning and all will happen automatically, right? And it will then the person will resolve the issue. Okay, how? Start the fix. Cause notes. Okay, and then it will be resolved. Resolved, fix, applied. Okay, so this is how a problem ticket is. We create a problem when we are not sure what is the problem with the incident, what is the cause of the incident. When there are recurring incidents in the system, we create problems. Okay, and then once we create the problem, we resolve it, we communicate the solution to the customers that it has been resolved permanently. This is about problem. All right, so now incident problem. Now we will do some scripting. We do have change management, we have service level management, we have knowledge management. Okay, we will take it later. So now I want to show you something, some small development. Okay, where is our table? Here. I create new record like this. Then even if I don't put anything and I submit, save, the record is getting saved. See, saved. So if I do like this, 74, 74 is a record, but it doesn't contain anything. I want to put some restrictions. If product name or summary or description or any field in question is blank, then it should not save the record. The user should be like prompted to enter the field value. It's only then the user can submit the record. How can we achieve this? There is a concept called client scripts in ServiceNow. Using client scripts, we can do UI validation, user interface validations. Okay, so like if I type anything over here, if I move my cursor from here, at that time it will validate something, or that will be an on change event when I move away my cursor after putting something. That will be on change event. If I type everything and then I submit like this, submit, and then something is getting validated, that is on submit. On submit. If I am in the list view, if I'm in the list view, if I'm modifying anything in an existing record like this, double click. While saving this, if I want to validate anything, then it will be on cell edit. We have all these events in control to validate the data. So let's create a small script. Okay, concentrate. I'll go here, client script. System definition, client script. These are all existing client scripts. They are stored in a table. What table? Open any record to show XML, it will show you what table. Okay, like this. Click hamburger, hanged, let it come up, show XML. This is the table that stores all the client scripts in ServiceNow. Sys script client, sys underscore script underscore. This is the table in which all the client scripts are stored. Fine. Coming back to the list view, I want to create one new. All right. I will give some name to it. Any meaningful name. Check prod name. On which table do I need to create this? On Swapnil inventory table. Oh, sorry. In UI type. What is it? Why it is not displaying? No. Where is our table name? RS. SABCD SW. Strange. CDFG IO STU W is not there. SU, okay. W. And in this, Swapnil table is not there. Yeah, it is not there. Okay. Yes. What happened now? Very much valid. Good that we faced this issue. Where do we go wrong? Where did we go wrong? What wrong we are doing? Application selected is global. Our application scope is Swapnil. Okay, let's refresh the scope. I'll close this. Before creating objects, see, the scope was global. Okay, we know that we want to create it for our application. First, select the application scope. My application is this SW. Okay, and then to avoid confusion, close remaining. Otherwise, it will take global scope. Now there is only one tab. I have selected Swapnil application. Inside my Swapnil application, I want to create a client script. Now, if I click on new, it should take the scope as Swapnil application. Earlier, it was global. Now, the tables that fall under this application will be displayed over here. Now, give the name. Now it should appear. See, where is our table? Swapnil inventory. This is the target table we have. This is our real original table on which we are going to create a client script for UI validation. Okay, fine. Submit. Right click, save. Now, what is the type of this? I told you when I click on save or submit button, at that time I want to perform some validation. I'll keep it as on submit. When I want the client script to do something like setting default values in some field or something, I'll take it as on load. Okay. If I want to do any kind of validation, when I type something and move away my cursor from my text field, on change. If I do any changes in the list view like I showed you, at that time I want to perform any validation, I'll take it as on cell edit. All right. For now, let us start with on submit. As soon as you select this, a prototype displayed over here. See the changes. On change, prototype changed. We don't have to do anything. Okay. Now, ours is now if you select on cell edit, it will change like this. So make sure you select a proper type and then come down on submit. I will have to write few lines to check if product name is not equal to null. How can I check that? Declare a variable. How? In JavaScript, we declare it like this, where p name, it can be Pankaj as well, any name that you like. It can be Pankaj, it can be Swapnil, it can be Kalyani, it can be anything. A temporary variable declare. Why? Because it will store some value. Now, pname equal to g underscore form dot get dot, what is the field name? Our field name is, do we have get value? Get value of which field? Of this field. Now we have to specify the column name, not the label name. Remember, ServiceNow in the script always deals with the column name, not the label name of the fields. So come to the form, open any record. I want to find the column name of this field. Right click. This is the column name. Product name, small, not this. So I will write product name. I am telling the system whatever the user has typed in the product name field, take that and store it in this local variable so that I can go ahead and perform some validation. Now whatever the person has typed in is stored over here, and I want to check if it is null or not. If pname, if pname means if it contains value, and if not p means if it is null. So if product name is null, g underscore form dot add error message, means print on the screen product name is required. This is the thing I am trying to do. Now you will ask why you are doing this gform. Gform is a system object ServiceNow has given us to read value from user field. I mean read value from the records, set value to some particular field using set value function, setting a field mandatory, setting a field read write, setting a field anything, changing the color, setting the flash to a field. Okay, we will see all these things. Now, we just want to test if the error is being thrown or not, if the product name is blank. So alignment, save this. Saved. Name of the client script, table name, on submit, declare a variable. This is the column name of the field product name on our form. Store the value in pname. If the person has not typed anything, give error. All right. So let's test this. I can reload this to reflect the changes, or let us create a new record. New. I will keep it as blank. I'll type other things. And then if I save this, it is giving me an error. But then it also saved this. See, 75 is saved, I believe. Yes, it should not allow us to save the record. So what is missing in our script? False. Return false. Stop the record from saving in the database. Now let us see. Create a new one. Keep it as blank. Give value to other fields. Submit it. See, it didn't save the record, and it will not save until the user puts in something in product name field. This is how we do a required field validation in ServiceNow on submit. So if I type something like, and then if I try to save, record is saved. See, any confusion up till here? This is how we are doing UI validations. If one of the field is blank, if similarly, if we want to do it for rest of the fields, do it like that. Put more if conditions. If not summary, if not expiry date, create temporary variables. See, I can smartly do one thing. This is I did for explaining you. Alternatively, can we do like this? If not, copy. Control C, Control V. Remove. Now I'm checking it directly. I'm not taking any variable to store this. Let us see if it works or not. If not, gform.getValue. If it is blank, and give error. Let's try to save. So no need of this as well. Let us see if the condition works. Otherwise, we will roll back. How does it look? No variable declaration, nothing. This will return whatever the user has typed. It will evaluate and it will print. I will create a new record. See how smartly I removed the variable. So optimal coding, what we say, optimal coding. If I declare a variable, that will utilize some memory in the system. If I don't declare any variable, it will utilize less memory. Correct? It depends on the programmer how to do it, how smartly to do it. There was no need of a variable over here, right? The system evaluates. This is a function. Get value is a function. What does it do? Whatever column name that we type in over here, it will give a value of that field over here. So that will be displayed with this. So if that value is null, then give error, don't save the record. Else, when we put else, it means if this runs, don't run this. If this fails, then come here. So in case, if it is not null, then come here and print a success message. Okay, G underscore form dot add info message, not error message, an info message. Record successfully submitted. Save. It will print in the banner. Come here. Save. Click on new. We know if we keep this blank, it will error out. So I will put something. Now when I submit this, record successfully submitted. We saw that, correct? It gave us record successfully submitted. That note came in. This is how we handle the validations. Now, let us create a new one. This time, new client script. Disable this. How to disable a client script? Set it inactive. You can set inactive from here, or you can open and set it inactive. Double click, inactive. Okay, now if I keep the product name as blank, it will not give me error and it will save a blank record. Let it be. We are going to see a new example. I will create a new client script now. Okay, so new. What is the name? On cell edit. Uh, Table name. Where is that table? This is the table. Type on cell edit. Now when I say on cell edit, it will ask me on which fields on cell edit you want to write this client script. What is the field on which you want to check something? I will say summary field or comments, anything, comments field. When someone goes to the list view like this, like this, like this, and someone tries to update the comments field with some value, and one tries to save it, I want that it can accept anything but not Pankaj. If someone types Pankaj, it should not allow the user to save the value. For now, it is allowing because we haven't done any validation. So if anyone types Pankaj, it should not allow us to save. Can it be done? Let's see. If g underscore form dot get value. Now we don't know the comments field column name. Let us find it out. Open any record. Over right click again. What we see over here, non-admin user will never see this. Otherwise, they can happily go and do the configuration and changes, customization. They will not see it. It's only admin who will see these things. Now this is the column name, comments, plural. Put it over here. If this field's value equal to Pankaj, sorry, not like that, delete. Now, when I say comments field, it will have something existing there, that is the old value. If I change something, if I go to the list view, if I change something, it is Pankaj, I changed it to my surname, anything, this is the new value. So the system has, what we say, the system has control of old value and new value, accessibility to the old and new value. Those are these things. Concentrate, old value, new value. Old value is what was existing already in that cell. New value is what we are typing into that cell. Okay. So if the newly typed value, that is this, equal to Pankaj. If its value is Pankaj, don't allow the user to save it. Alert. Value cannot be Pankaj. Okay. Let's see if it executes. This is how it looks. Now, when I say new value, old value, how does the system understand old value of what field, new value of what field? It's the value of comments field that we have specified over here. This is in context with this field. If comment fields old value equal to this, if comment fields new value equal to Pankaj, then don't allow the user to save. Okay, I'll go here, refresh the list, refresh. If I go to comments field and write Pankaj and try to save, it will give me value cannot be Pankaj and it will not save. See, and if it does not save, it is back to Java. It didn't save. If I type any other thing, it should save, but it should not be Pankaj. Again, if I try to change it, if I click on this, it will throw a pop-up, an alert message. This is how we do alerting in ServiceNow. Throw an alert. This is how we do on-cell edit validation. On-cell edit you will use rarely, right? But if you want to implement something, you can do it like this. If you want to restrict the user from entering something, putting some value, you can use on-cell edit client script. On submit, I told you, on submit you don't have access to old value, new value, because on submit is submitting a new record. So what was the old value in that? Right? There was no old value. Everything is current transaction. This is how on-cell edit is used. Now, imagine, go here, open any record. Once I open the record, it loads. See, again, list view, I click on any record, it is loaded. When it loads the record, do you want to set some field grayed out, read only, or you want to set some default value to any field? Can it be done? Yes, it can be done using onload. So I'll go here, client script, new, give a proper name, set status read only. What is the table? This is the table. And what is the type? Onload. Onload. G underscore form, client side object it is, dot set value, set, see, set mandatory, set read only, ready-made functions can be called using this G underscore form objects. G underscore form object. What field? What is the name of that expiry date field? Right click, right click, not happening. Oh, right click, exp date, exp date. Set this to read only. For that, I'll say true. If it is false, then don't set read only. That is, make it editable again, like this. True, false. Let us see if it works. This is how it looks. On load, set read only, expiry date. Go here, open any record. See, expiry date is grayed out. We cannot select it. This is how we can do, right? Like make the fields read only. We can even set values in some fields. Let us edit the same script like this. G underscore form dot set value comments field. Oh, this is the column name. Let us confirm. Yeah. What value do you want to set? This is set by on load client script. Okay. Will it do? Let's see. See, automatic on load, right? We can do certain things. Setting value, static values to fields, conditional values to fields, setting the field read only. Okay, we can do these things in onload. All right. Now, what did we see? Three types. It was on cell edit, onload, on submit. What is the fourth one? On change. Yes, on changes remain. Fine. On change. On change. Now, as soon as you select this, it will ask on change of what field. So I want to say product name. On change of product name field, I want to check something. Okay. Now we have access to product names, old value, new value. Okay. Now ignore the prototype. We will write our thing over here. Green means commenting. How do we do commenting in script? Like this. It will not execute. This is just for readability. Double slash. Okay. Now I want to write something. If new value doesn't contain anything, means not. If new value is null, display an error. New value of which field? Product name field. Then throw an alert. Product name. Along with this, see, when I write alert, it means JavaScript. See, JavaScript is not just used in ServiceNow. Let me make these things clear. JavaScript existed even before ServiceNow. JavaScript is used with HTML, Angular, JavaScript, many things. JavaScript is a free form of language that is supported by ServiceNow. We can use free JavaScript like alert. Along with that, ServiceNow also gives us some standard libraries that we can use, like g underscore form dot add. This is add error message, add info message, right? Add error message, let us take. These are all readily available functions built using JavaScript. Who has built it? ServiceNow has maintained the library. So when I say alert, it is free JavaScript. When I call it using such objects, add error message. If you use this add error message somewhere in .NET or somewhere in HTML, it will not recognize it. ServiceNow has built these libraries and kept somewhere. We can call them over here, right? It is its standard library, standard functions. Product name. Okay. Save. On change. How does it look? Okay. New value means these fields newly typed value. Okay. Go here. No. Okay, it will not work like this. This is something we can use with on submit. We will use it in other way. If new value All right, let us test this. If we want that a text field should not contain certain string, in that case, we can use it. If this doesn't work, we will take a new example. I have it. I'm moving away my cursor now. Product name cannot be Pankaj. Error. Product name cannot be Pankaj. If I type anything, we didn't write anywhere return false, right? Let's see what happens to 180. It saved it. All right. Let's see if return false can stop it from getting returned to the database. If not, we will search out a new example. I must have it somewhere. So I'll go here. Okay. Yeah, it saved the record. All right. Let's see what all do we have on change. This is also our on change. I want to see all the scripts present in the system with type on change. So I will right click and say show matching. All right. Updated. Set rejoin. On change work duration. Ravi check first name. SNM on change. There are many. Let's see what this is doing. See, this can be a good example. If new value, if there is a value in first name, then last name should be mandatory. Perfect example. Based on one field, we can decide if the other field is mandatory or not. Okay, so let us try to fit this over here. So in our case, we will take it as if product name contains a value, then unit price should be mandatory. All right. So let us do like that. So I'll go here, client script. I'll open our existing client script, which is this. We'll change the script, do a tweaking. If new value, if this is not equal to null, that is if new value has a value, and what new value? Product name has a value. In that case, g underscore form dot set mandatory, what field? Unit price. So what is the column name of unit price? Right click, unit price. Okay. True. Set this field mandatory unit price if this means product name contains a value. If someone has specified product name, in that case, that person will also have to specify the unit price. Otherwise, it will not save. It will not save. The system will not allow to save the data. This is how our script looks. Simple 3 to 4 line script. All right. Now, I will type something. If I will type something and move away my cursor, then this field should be mandatory. Anything. Um, as soon as I move my cursor, it will check if product name is not equal to null. If it is not equal to null, see, star means mandatory. Now, in any case, I will have to put value over here. Otherwise, see what will happen. It will, system itself will throw error. That unit price is mandatory. System error. This time we are not throwing error. System is throwing error. See, the following mandatory fields are not filled. Unit price. So based on the content present in a field, we can decide whether to make a field mandatory or whether to make a field read write or whether to hide or show a field. Getting? This is how it is. And if I enter something, I'll be able to save the record. Done. This is how we use client script based on this thing. Now, yeah, based on product name, we were able to set it to mandatory. We can set n number of fields mandatory. Even we can set a field like hide or visible. How we can hide a field? G underscore form dot set visible. I want to hide a field. Then I will write false. What field you want to hide? Suppose I want to hide any field. So this exp date. Let us see how does it work. It will hide the field if product name is not equal to null. That means if product contains value, it will hide the expiry date. So not equal to null. Unit price will become mandatory. This should vanish, I believe. Vanished. Magic. This is how we use client scripts. Power of client script. UI level validations. We use G form, G underscore form, ready-made client-side object using which we can call set of methods, predefined methods given by ServiceNow. Example, hiding a field, showing a field, set it to disable, grayed out, editable, setting it mandatory, non-mandatory. These things can be done. Getting? Next session, next Saturday, we will cover the remaining portion of client scripts. There are certain things. If I want to flash, here I'm showing as asterisk mandatory. Even I want to flash something, I want to flash over here or here. What I can do, how I can use different colors when I'm giving the messages. I want to take the attention of the submitter to a field so that I will put a flash over that, putting permanent flash or a blink. Those things are possible. We will see a few more examples of client scripts, right? And then we will switch over to ITSM and we will take change management, knowledge management, we will take service level management. Once we do cover this, we will go to business rules, that is server side script. All right. So yeah, that's it. We are on the top of the hour. So we will close here. Any query, confusion, question over here, we simply did UI level validations on the form. This should not be equal to null, that should not be equal to null. Yes,
Pankaj, Vedika here. Actually, for
yes,
setting the fields mandatory or hide or read only, we can use UI policies as well, right? So, whenever
yes, you
like
can.
we use UI policies, that is
Mhm.
applicable only for the certain record in this case, and client script is something like for each and every record on the no.
No, even, yeah. Whether it is UI policy or a client script, it will be applicable to that particular record which we have opened currently. It will be
Yeah.
applicable to that. So not all the
So,
records. So
then what's the exact
yeah,
difference, like when to use client scripts and when where to use UI policies in
I'll
this
tell you.
case?
I'll tell you. See, when we will take UI policy example. See, UI policy has limited scope. Example. See, this is something you won't have in UI policy. What was the old value typed by the user? What is the new value? These things you won't have in UI policy. If you have to play around with this, you will have to use client script. UI policy is very simple. It has limited scope. If you want to hide a field, if you want to show a field based on condition, usually you don't write script in UI policy. You will write a set of actions that you will see coming Saturday. Next Saturday, you will see it. So I will differentiate between the two so you won't have any kind of confusion. The main difference is you will not have access to old and new values in UI policy, which you have in client script. If you have ever worked on UI policy, you can try to create one and see if you have access to these two. You will never have access. So very limited scope, hiding a field, making it read only, right? Setting it visible, not visible. These are the three major functions performed by UI policy. Though we can write a script, but in that script, we can throw an alert, add info message, similar to what we did in client script, but you will not have access to what was the old value, correct? Old value you won't be able to access in UI policy, this old value.
Yeah.
You will only
Okay.
have the value of current transaction. That is the main difference. Getting? It is like that.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think, yeah, we are done for the day. Any question before I stop the recording? And Vedika Tosif, I didn't share the recording, right? We had a session. So today I'll share you two recordings, today's recording and our first session. Okay. So we'll get two links
Yeah.
and the current batch, you will get the today's recording. All right. So fine. I'll stop here, do some practice. Okay. And we will see next session client script remaining portion plus UI policy we will cover. All right. Okay. Thank you. Have a nice day. Yeah.
Thank you, Pankaj. Bye.
Yeah.
Thank you.